This is my home golf simulator, and it cost me exactly $11,480.78 to build. In this video, I'm breaking down every dollar I spent, from the obvious gear to the little things that some people can forget about. I'll show you what I've loved, what I would skip if I were to do it again, and how you can build one similar to this without blowing past your budget. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jake, and thank you so much for being here. Hey, I've broken this video down into chapters, so if you look at the bar down there, you can see exactly where we're gonna be and where we're gonna go as far as covering each individual item that I've purchased for my sim. This first section is gonna be what I call the core tech. So these are the things that we need to power the actual simulator itself. And first, we're gonna start with my launch monitor. Now, when it comes to launch monitors, it's one of the more intimidating pieces of equipment to buy, simply because A, it's the most expensive in general, and B, there's so many different variations and versions, and depending on what you're looking for in your home golf sim, some of them may work better for you than others. For us, we were looking for a really good mixture of value and data that you can get, and that's what we found with the Bushnell Launch Pro. Now, with any launch monitor, there are pros and cons, so I'll go through the pros of this one first quickly. Number one, it's on the more affordable side for getting a full data package. Now, full data package means you're getting basically everything you need besides face to path and a couple other more niche items that, I don't necessarily need. They'd be great to have, but for me, in this first sim that we have, I think the Bushnell checked all those boxes for us. Now, another huge pro of the Bushnell is that you can unplug it and take it to the range or the course with you if you wanted to do some outside of your sim practice and verify your numbers. I'll link to a video up here where I actually tested my Ping i230 irons at the driving range of my home course with the Bushnell, and it was absolutely cool to get it out of the simulator and out onto the course or the range and see those numbers kind of translate off grass. Hint, the spin numbers are a little bit different on grass than they are in the simulator, so that was interesting. Now, a couple of the cons with the Bushnell system is there is a yearly subscription. In order to be able to connect to GSPro or any of the other third-party simulator software that you may use out there, you do have to pay for their simulator connection, subcription. It really is kind of frustrating, and when you're spending $3,500 on a piece of equipment, you would love to be able to just have it work with everything seamlessly. But in today's day and age with subscriptions, that's just not gonna happen, and companies have to make revenue somehow, so they choose to charge us with subscriptions. So if you're gonna go with the Bushnell or even a Foresight, I know they've got a couple newer models that we'd like to review. Hint, they kind of seem the same as what we have. If you're gonna do something like that, there are gonna be a monthly subscription to hook it to GSPro in order to be able to play those courses that you wanna play. On the Bushnell, we spent $3,500. That included ball and club data. Obviously, there's that $750 yearly subscription, which is steep, and I really hated paying it this year, but that's the cost to play with these simulators, and it's served us well. The data accuracy and all of that have been great. Another con, and this is more just me being petty maybe, but you let me know in the comments if you agree with this, if you have one of these units. The stickers that you put on your club to get the club data are far too expensive. And we've tried a couple of the off-brand stickers on Amazon. Let me know if you've had a better experience with them, but the price that Foresight wants for those stickers, the ones that actually work fairly regularly, are very ridiculous, especially when we're paying $750 a year for the subscription, as well as the $3,500 cost for the unit. So that's just a little bit of a petty, frustration, but outside of those two things, the Bushnell has served us really well. $3,500 for that. Let's go on to the next piece of equipment. Now, the second piece of equipment we bought was a gaming PC. This is another one of those that can be kind of intimidating if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't understand all the jargon, all these graphics cards and processors and everything like that. We're gonna make it simple. We're gonna post a video here in the next couple weeks where we go through kind of the beginner tier computer, mid tier, and then obviously, S tier, best computer you can buy, probably overkill for a golf sim. We like to think that we went somewhere towards that middle upper range on this computer. Being that we're busy, we didn't want to go through the hassle of building one, so we just found a good deal on a pre-built computer from Best Buy. We'll link one similar down below. I don't know if this computer is still available because we did buy it a year ago, but the technology is still holding up fantastic. The star of the show, really what's going to matter most, is your graphics card when you're going into simulators, and we went with a NVIDIA RTX 4070 Ti Super. I said it in one take, let's go. Now, with these designers on GSPro and pushing the limits to the graphics on these courses, there's some amazing courses out there, and the fact that we have a 4K projector, we wanted to make sure that our graphics card was not going to be the bottleneck, and the 4070 Ti Super has been absolutely fantastic. It's been super. We can run GSPro at full settings, Ultra HD, 4K, push the projector, the TV, that actually is our monitor. It'll accept the launch monitor, high-speed swing cameras that we haven't talked about yet, but that is coming, I promise. As well as running OBS to get screen recordings for our videos here and everything else we do, and it hasn't even skipped a beat. So we can't recommend going a little bit more splurge-worthy on the computer, especially to future-proof yourself. The old saying, buy once, cry once, really does actually affect things in the simulator world. And I'll kind of talk as we go about what I think is worth spending a little bit of extra money on to get that next level. I think the computer and projector are really the two that I would splurge on, because the rest of it is pretty modular and you can sell things, upgrade, change out, and it's not really gonna bust your budget. But swapping out the computer and the projector, I think it's just better to do it once, do it right, and we certainly did here. So on the computer, we spent $2,099.99, and it came pre-built, just had to unbox it, plug it in, and install the software, and we were good to go. All right, I mentioned projector, so we're on to the next piece of equipment, and that is our BenQ 710 STI short throw projector that we bought. It's an absolutely flawless projector. We've tested it a bunch over the last year, and it's awesome. I mean, today, right now, that's actually what's behind me is the projector projecting that image. I have a key light on me to brighten up my face so you guys can see me better, plus lights coming in through the windows above our garage. And we did throw some tint on those windows above the garage to kind of help with that ambient light, but the projector's still showing awesome. I mean, I can play in the middle of the day with the garage door open. It's not perfect, it's a little washed out with that much ambient light, but anytime there's just a little bit of ambient light or just the normal light with the garage door shut, it's been performing fantastic. Projectors are a tough one too for sims because the throw is what really matters when you're coming and setting up your projector, which is why I talk all the time about making sure you have a holistic plan for planning your sim. You need to know exactly how far back your projector is going to sit on the ceiling or on the sides if you're mounting it on the floor, because that throw distance is going to matter to make sure you get a full picture. It just so happened that the TK 710 STI was a perfect throw distance for us where we set it up, and we couldn't be any more happy with the results. We actually scored this projector on a little bit of a sale when it first came out last year. It was a perfect timing situation. So we paid $1,799.10 for the projector. It was on sale, but as always, we'll have links in the description for everything in this video. Just a side note, some of these are affiliate links, and that helps the channel at no cost to you, but we really don't care if you click those for our sake. We just want to make it easy for you to find the stuff that we've used in our sim. It does help the channel if you click on them, so if you feel like doing it, please do it. But what would really help the channel is if you click that subscribe button. It would help us reach so many more golf sickos like us, and we would love that. All right, so one of the last pieces of core tech that we want to talk about here is GSPro. GSPro is the bedrock of our simulator software setup. Now, I actually do most of my practicing in GSPro. I've got a little rotation that I do. They have distance challenges. They're adding more and more features every single day. There's so many courses on GSPro, from all the ones that you'll see the pros play to even ones that are local to me that nobody's ever heard of that I can't even believe are on there. There's a new thing to do every day, and that is so much fun and so worth the cost. The details, the course physics, the bounces, everything really has been so impressive and so much fun. It's added to the actual simulator setup so much. Obviously, we have Foresight software included with our Bushnell, so that is an option. And whenever I'm really trying to get granular into the data, maybe do a bag mapping, I will go into that software, but 95% of my time out here on the sim is spent with GSPro up, and it's so worth the cost. It is a yearly subscription, so that's another thing that will stack up every single year, but it's worth it. If you're gonna do anything simulator-wise, GSPro is the one, the only, the best software that you should have. There's also Simulator Tour that runs off of GSPro. There's so many different ways to go. Don't skip GSPro, definitely download it. A couple more things in the core tech and then we'll move on. Finally, in core tech, we're going to talk about the cabinet that we've got the computer sitting in and the HDMI cord. We won't spend a ton of time on it, but I wanted to have something to put the computer in since it was so expensive, to protect it from errant balls. Of course, those balls wouldn't be coming from me. They'd be coming from friends and everybody else that comes over to the simulator to use it. But I actually went with an IKEA little cabinet, and I'll link it below. It's called an Alex cabinet. They have so many different names for their stuff. But most of the time I'll have the door open or cracked just to get a little bit of airflow in there. And then I took a hole saw actually and punched a bunch of holes in the back to make sure that there was proper airflow because these computers really need airflow to keep them cool. So if you're gonna go this route, make sure you do that because you do want as much cooling as possible. There's plenty of room in this for our computer, but cases of computers are so different that I would want you to make sure that you're getting proper airflow in that. So that case was actually $50 from IKEA, and then the 50-foot HDMI cord that we use to run from the computer up to the projector that's right above me right now, that was actually $41.99 off of Amazon. Had no problems with it. It's just an HDMI cord, but we'll link it below. If you're looking for something like that, this one did the trick for us. All right, so we're on to section 2, which is enclosures and mounts. Now there's a ton of options out there for simulator enclosures, and if you've watched our channel at all, you know that our choice is Carl's Place. Now Carl's Place has so many different options for customizing things based on what your space will allow. Our garage is roughly 20 by 20, and knowing where our stairs are, the water heater, all the things that kind of have to be in a garage in order for it to be a garage, we knew that we could go to a certain width, height, and depth. And Carl's Place was able to deliver on the exact dimensions that we needed, which was fantastic. The setup was super easy, came with all the instructions, all the zip cords, bungee cords, everything you could ever possibly need to install the thing. We also got a couple accessories included, including shank mats, or nets, I should say. We actually probably didn't need those shank nets simply because our enclosure is 13 feet wide, and when you're only standing 8 to 10 feet away from the screen, to hit one that wide and outside of the 3-foot depth of the enclosure, takes a pretty radical shank. We've only had 1 or 2 balls maybe escape the simulator enclosure in that manner, and it was from a couple really novice golfers that were coming around just to test it once or twice. Keep that in mind. If you are going a little bit more narrow, then you might want to go with those shank nets, but for us, because we went wide enough, we didn't need to do that. Now, after the first year of use, our Carl's Place enclosure has held up incredibly well. It looks virtually brand new. And if you watch the last video, which I'll link right now, kind of talking about the state of my game after a year's worth of simulator use, we've hit over 38,000 shots into this screen, and it looks fantastic. Now there is a little bit of wear, obviously, from friction, but not really anything that affects the coloring, how it plays, how it bounces, just pretty typical and honestly less than I expected wear and tear. So these Carl's Place screens are built to last, folks. For us, it cost $2,070 to get everything, including all the foam, pretty much everything, including pipes, everything you need to create your Carl's Place enclosure, your sim enclosure. Go check Carl's Place out. I think they're fantastic. We're super happy with ours. So are the friends that have installed simulators that have gone with Carl's Place. So check that out. Wouldn't really go anywhere else unless you're really compelled to do it or somebody's having an incredible sale. We can speak for Carl's Place's quality, their customer service, everything involved. So click that link below. Second thing in our mounts and enclosure section is going to be our projector mount. Now, we went very simple because we had a straightforward mount situation. We have a beam that runs right up the middle of our garage, and it was perfect spot, perfect throw distance, almost like God designed it that way. So all we needed was a pretty flush, flat, even mount to mount our projector. So if you're looking for something like that, we've got a great one in that description. Super easy to use, tons of adjustments. There is actually a drop pole that comes with it. So if you need a little bit of that adjustment, it will be included and it would work for you. But again, it's gonna kind of matter on the design of your simulator setup. For us, this mount worked perfectly. And then final thing in the mount section is going to be our HangSmart TV mounts. We loved these things so much, we actually installed them throughout the entire house. Everybody knows how much of a pain in the butt it is to install TVs, TV mounts specifically. You have to make sure they're level, you got to get both sides up there, you got to drill big holes. The HangSmart mounts couldn't be any easier. It's like 3 or 4 nails. They give you a jig that you can tape up on the wall so you know exactly where you want your TV to go. 3 nails right into the wall, and then you hang the TV on the mount just like it's a picture on a nail. Now, if you're looking at them and you're like, how the heck are these gonna last? Do they work? We've actually hung 6 TVs in our house and 2 in our garage and then 4 elsewhere in other rooms and living rooms. Big TVs, OLED TVs, expensive TVs, everything in between, and nothing's moved. They're absolutely perfect. I cannot believe that we mounted TVs the old way for that long. I got 2 of them for $99, link in the description for that. But if you're looking for an ease of use, simple, do it. This is the best thing ever invented when it comes to mounting TVs. Definitely don't skip these ones, they're great. HangSmart TV mounts, $99 on those. Okay, let's move on to the hitting area. Now this is composed of 3 different layers. The first layer is gonna be those foam underlay mats. Super important that you do this just simply because you can have a little bit of extra padding. Under your feet, it's gonna save your joints. You know, if you've got a concrete floor like you have in a garage and you're standing on it, there's gonna be a little bit of wear and tear. These foam mats make everything smooth, make it easy, nice to sit on, or nice to stand on, I should say. I don't know if I'm doing much sitting on my simulator. But they're easy, they fit together just like puzzle mats. You can cut them very simply, so if you've got like something you need to shape around, they're absolutely easy. We spent $109.99 on these bad boys, but they are actually on sale right now for cheaper, so I wish I would have bought them today instead of a year ago, but that's a completely separate thing. Step 2 is gonna be our surround turf. Now, this one kind of comes with an asterisk. We went with a MSI putting turf is what they call it from build.com. It was $450 for the amount that we needed, and obviously amounts are gonna change, but for us, this is what we needed. I'll actually link our turf video below. It's our most popular video we've ever made, showing us cutting that turf, installing it, doing all of it. The first thing, it didn't wear very well where we were standing. When we designed the sim the first time, we actually were standing on that turf and it wore through relatively quickly, giving us kind of foot indents, I would kind of describe it as well as some friction wear that you could actually see. So given that we film videos out here and we actually like our stuff to look really good, we actually got a new hitting strip that was bigger to then cut out some of the extra turf and install it that way. So $450 on that turf, and then we can get now into the hitting strip. The first hitting strip we bought was a SimTurf Easy Tee hybrid hitting strip. We spent $165 on this unit and it was a fantastic purchase. We love SimTurf's Easy Tee hitting mat. It doesn't mask fat shots. So if you hit one fat, it's gonna take a little bit of speed off. You're gonna feel that feedback, but not enough so much that it's gonna start to bother your elbow joints or anything like that. Absolutely fantastic piece of turf. And we loved it so much. Actually, SimTurf reached out to us after that video and said, hey, you know, can we send you guys the bigger expanded hitting turf that we want? We have no, relationship with them as far as affiliate links or anything like that. Just from you guys watching the video, them seeing the response and then saying, hey, let us send you something. That was such a cool thing for us. So if you're subscribed to us and you're making that happen, thank you so much. It's absolutely incredible having a company reach out and say, hey, we loved the video. Can we send you something? Like, so cool, absolutely so cool. So they actually sent us an expanded hitting strip that we installed. We're able to cut that ugly, worn surround turf out, and now we've got just a bigger hitting strip that we're actually standing on. And after about 6 months of use, it's really worn well, and we can't see any of those feet marks still, even though I've made a ton of shots on it. So we can't recommend SimTurf enough. We'll have links in the description. Like we said, those ones aren't affiliate links. We just believe in their product, and their company is awesome to work with, so definitely give them a look. So the final cost for all of the turf was $724.99. Now, the next category is where you're really gonna wanna pay attention because it's all the little things, the lights, the curtains, the stuff that you really don't think about that can add hundreds onto your build that I wanna make sure you budget for if you're in the market for a golf sim. All right, section 4, these are the hidden costs. Now, these are gonna be different for everybody because everybody's got different, I guess, preferences, they've got different needs, different spaces. For us, it looked a lot like things that kind of cleaned it up and made the garage actually feel like more like a golf simulator instead of a garage with a bunch of bins on one side of the wall and then a golf sim up and then there's stuff everywhere, it feels cluttered. Having these little different changes and things really cleaned it up and made it feel like a home, an escape, an oasis, like kind of what we wanted our golf sim to feel like. First is gonna be some curtains. Now we bought 2 sets of these curtains, big blackout curtains. They really just add a kind of a block layer. We do have storage on one side of the golf sim and we wanted that hidden away. So we bought these curtains and they absolutely worked perfectly. I mean, it's just a curtain, but these ones are great. Take it from us because we've used them. They're thick, they're high quality. They haven't gotten dusty or anything. They're just a good quality fabric from Amazon. 2 of those at $33.37, which is roughly about 66 something odd dollars. I can't do the math in my head right now. So the next thing is gonna be actually tension rods to hang those curtains. So very thick tension rods, perfect for a garage, perfect for heavy duty, holding up really tall blackout curtains that do have some weight to them. We needed 2 of those at $18 a piece, so $36 for that. They held up great. Links in the description for both the curtains and the tension rods if you want to make your space feel a little bit cleaner, more streamlined. Next is going to be some cord hiding cable channel stuff. I bought a box of this, it was $9, white to blend in with our wall. One of the things that you don't realize is how many cords there are with a golf sim, especially when you're running 2 TVs, a projector, a launch monitor. There's just cords everywhere. So cord hider was definitely necessary to keep things clean, keep it nice looking. Also kind of cleans up a trip hazard. I don't know about you if you've got got kids or anything running around. Definitely nice so you don't have your, $500, $600, $700 TV yanked off the wall or whatever. Cord hider, definitely a necessity, $9 for that. All right, so this is one of my favorite things that we have in the sim. It doesn't seem like it should be that big of a deal, but if you've ever tried to golf in the dark or just a glow of the actual projector screen, then you understand why this would be helpful. Alan actually found this spotlight for about $15 on Amazon that's mounted directly above the projector. We point it down to where the hitting area is, and it gives us a very clean circular light around the hitting area. It's awesome. It was cheap. I mean, it's easy to mount. There's an extra plug-in up where we have the plug for the projector, so it's super simple to wire up. Check that out if you need a little bit extra light in your setup, but yep, another 15 bucks. So next is gonna be Birtee Tees. Now, Birtee Tees are the little basket-looking tees that we use in the sim. The Easy Tee mat will accept actual tee pegs, but I was tired of chasing those around, so these Birtee Tees are great. $24.99 for those on Amazon. The only thing I can't stand still is that sometimes they go under the screen, actually under the simulator screen if we hit a lower drive. So getting on your hands and knees on the turf, grabbing it under there, it's kind of annoying. If you have a solution to that, let me know in the comments below, or if you're a company that sells a solution to that, maybe ship it to us. Reach out to us, we would love to try it, because chasing around tees is one of the, I guess, downsides of a simulator, but hey, we can't complain, life is good. This next one is crucial. Now, with a white projector screen, obviously, if you go outside and play golf, your clubs are gonna get dirty, the ball's gonna get dirty. We actually have balls that we use only in the sim, which I'm guessing most of you do too if you have a sim, but making sure that your clubs are clean before you hit those balls so you don't get any mud transfer or dirt or sand or anything that hits the screen is gonna be very important to keeping your screen clean. So this club brush is great. You actually can unscrew it, put a little bit of Dawn is what I do, just to get a little bit of cleaning power and then some water in there. One little fill up of this thing will allow me to clean my clubs 5 or 6 times after I come back from the course. Quick and easy, just a couple scrubs and then wipe it off with a microfiber towel and the club is clean, ready to go, ready to use in the sim. Definitely make sure you pick one of these up, $11.99 from Amazon, super easy. Don't feel like you gotta go super crazy with this. And if you don't even really wanna buy this, just get a wet rag and maybe a golf tee or just your regular brush and you can clean it off. But I like having it in the sim. It's always out here, especially when friends come over. They can just take it real quick, clean their clubs off, and we're good to go, ready to play. This last piece of equipment was actually a late addition, and it's one of my favorites. I love supporting small businesses, and this small business, I think it's out of Minnesota, BA Custom Products, makes Bluetooth wireless control boxes for GSPro. So if you want to hit a mulligan, you got a buddy that just hit one into the water, you can just click the mulligan button down on the ground with your club. You're back on where your old shot was and you're ready to go. If you want to move your aiming spot left or right, you don't need to walk over to the mouse, you just click the left and right buttons on there. You want to see the heat map on the green, you can click heat map. So many different easy things that you can control on GSPro with this box. Can't highly recommend picking up a control box if it's in the budget. Ours was $174.99. It actually came with the mouse for our actual PC. Runs off the same dongle, super easy to set up, and it's from a small business. I think he got my order, received it, shipped it out, and I received it in 2 days, which any small business that operates with that level of excellence is incredible in our book. So BA Custom Products, GSPro Control Box, $174.99. Go check that one out. So that is $11,480.78 worth of golf simulator equipment. It's a big number, but honestly, it was worth it. And it's changed how much I love golf. It's changed how we film for you guys, and it's changed how I train. I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting. I tried to do an extensive audit and list of all my receipts and everything. There could be something that I'm missing. If you notice anything that I'm missing having watched our videos, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I can update the cost for you, but that's a pretty exhaustive list and price of what we have for our sim. I've linked everything below that we used. Some of those links are affiliate links. It helps the channel out at no cost to you to use those. If you're thinking about building a sim or just want to see what's possible at a different price, we've got so many videos in the pipeline for that, so stay tuned, click that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what your budget is, and maybe I'll make a video about it. I've got a $5,000 sim build video in my head right now, so say the words in the comments and I will absolutely make that video and give you my recommendation. We've got so many more videos coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, whether you're out on the course or in your sim or you're just planning your sim, doesn't really matter. Make sure that you always keep them straight.